What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Polestar. With the new 52-week and all-time low being created today, I wanted to talk on the data points and ultimately how low I see things going. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently down 3.21%. A new 52-week and all-time low was just created at $2.26. A little bit low for volume, so 2.6 million shares being traded versus 4 is the average. Similarly, if you actually look at a lot of the options activity, people are anticipating for it to trend down, with $21,000 in puts being purchased and $32,000 in calls. So like I said, not necessarily the best. And even if you zoom out over the last, let's say, 3 trading days, about 102,000 in puts and 149,000 in calls. So based on the technicals, it is breaking down. And oddly enough, even if you look at the fib levels right here, $2.27, which it is currently at right now, is below the S3. And just to put that in perspective, any stock that is trading below the S3 is in severe trouble. And in my opinion, Polestar does not meet that criteria. This is why in a lot of my Polestar videos I've been saying, you know what, fundamentally, they're doing a lot of good things. They are encountering some hiccups, but genuinely, they're actually doing fairly well. But unfortunately, based on the market, just nobody wants to touch them. So even options and just based on buying the physical shares, nobody wants to touch Polestar. And just to put in perspective on how deep of a discount it is at right now, you have to look at the PS ratio and a lot of other ratios, but I like to look at PS. So looking as of right now, 1.9 is the current PS ratio and 1.3 is the future. That is insane. And just to put it in comparison, and obviously looking at Rivian right now for the multiples right here. So let's do that right here. So looking at Rivian's multiples, the PS ratio for them right now is 6.8 versus the future is 3.7. So as it stands right now, Polestar has a better infrastructure than Rivian. Just, of course, when it comes down to Rivian, they have really reiterated their demand quite significantly. So different models as far as the business, but in theory, Rivian is 3x ultimately from their PS. So nobody is willing to really touch Polestar for whatever reason. And even when it comes down to analysts seem not to even like Polestar as well. So these are the only analyst ratings as of late. Dan Levy from Barclays did recently give a $3 price target, a sell rating, downgraded it in fact, and that was done 15 days ago. 21 days ago, there was a buy rating from arvl. Jamie Perez, who only has a 28% success rating, so take that with a grain of salt. And even when it comes down to analyst forecasts, people aren't really kind of that optimistic on Polestar. Whereas in comparison, like I just referred to Rivian, they are set to be net profitable by, I think it is tail end of 2024. So complete night and day difference when it comes down to the different models as of right now. So let me know your thoughts on that. If you are looking for a lot of good analyst ratings, forecasts, and even the latest Morningstar reports, take a look at Interactive Brokers. It is completely free to have all of this information. So I have a link to them in the description below and also the comments. And while I'm actually on here, based on the latest Morningstar report, which did come out, I believe, last Friday, it does show the fair market value for Polestar, just including only its assets, is $4.82. So once again, just letting you know about that. But as far as at the time of doing this video, there hasn't been any press releases, no SEC filings, nothing like that. Unofficially, there was this that did come out on September the 20th, so a couple days ago, and it just says that the Polestar 3 was pushed back from Q1 to Q2 of 2024. So not necessarily the best, not the biggest issue per se, but if you kind of take a step back and realize that in Q1 of 2023, they already did push the Polestar 3 back initially, it kind of shows a little bit more of a growing trend. So once again, I think when it comes down to Polestar, in order for them to incentivize buyers and institutions to really invest in their business, they need to make sure that this kind of stuff does not happen. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. These are the only transactions that have occurred on the secondary market over $100,000, so none today. There was one yesterday, it looks like, and a couple on the 19th. But like I mentioned, it kind of matches with the fact that institutions aren't necessarily getting into Polestar. These are the transactions that have occurred on the dark pool. Dark pool is very much linked to shorting. So I'll give you a quick overview of what shorts are are doing. And as I've said in the past, I'm only bringing this up as a benchmark, not here to say that Polestar is going to be a squeeze. But clearly Ortex is still having a glitch with Polestar because it does show the short score as 0 still. So kind of just be aware of that. Utilization is 91.83%. And as far as what shorts are doing today, they are increasing around 10,000 shares. So kind of a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of things, because 11.78 million shares overall are being shorted. But cost to borrow has actually gone up over the last several weeks. So 16.32% is the average. So something to kind of consider. Based on Interactive Broker short availability, it does indicate that there is roughly around 200,000 shares available to be shorted if need be. So once again, let me know your thoughts on that. But like I mentioned, hypothetically, how far could Polestar go down? Based on the technicals, it's not really going to help because we are in unforeseen territory, and technicals are fairly good at predicting what the future is based on the past outcomes. But with it right now, like I said, the new 52-week and all-time low, you kind of just have to factor in the psychological levels. So it's going to be the whole number. So around $2 is going to be the next very strong support level for Polestar, which is kind of crazy to think that it could actually touch 2. But if it does break below that, then it'll be around the $1.75, $1.50, and things like that. So unfortunately, it's not necessarily the best, and you can kind of look at the fib levels to find out the next strong resistance points. So $2.36, so it kind of did bounce off of that as far as the high today. So $2.36 is going to be the next strong resistance, and then $2.89, $3.21. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Polestar can get down to $2 or sub $2? Kind of what's your take on all of that? As far as people that are bearish on Polestar, just looking at the options, nobody really seems to think that it's going to break $2 based on the puts at least. So you never know, 2 might be the all-time potential low for Polestar, which like I said is kind of crazy to think that Polestar could get to around the $2 range. Market cap is currently $4.99 billion as well, so something to just kind of watch for. When it comes to it, let me know your thoughts. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying Polestar? Have you been selling? Kind of what's your take on Polestar based on, if you kind of take a step back over the last little bit, this is a very, very scary falling knife. So once again, hats off to anyone who is willing to hypothetically buy this falling knife, because like I've said in the past, especially this video, and a lot of the times I talk on Polestar or any other stock, it usually is just short-term stuff that I bring up as far as the technicals, data points. But long-term, whether it be a couple of years or decades from now, that is when you should be investing. That's when Polestar is going to really pay off based on their infrastructure and many other things. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of free promos, and that is with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up for an account, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock can be valued at $2,000. So this is one of the best deals in the market. Link in the description below and also the comments. With that said, I appreciate you watching, and let's eventually make a lot of money on Polestar.